I'm Nadiyah here, and I hope you've been enjoying our Like a Boss series. Today, we're going to cover how to interview like a boss, and stay tuned till the end because we're also going to discuss how to navigate discriminatory hiring practices in today's job market coming up. In my experience as a recruiter, it's essential to recognize that various cultures have distinct interpretations and norms surrounding effective communication during job interviews. For the purposes of this discussion, I will be focusing on communication recommendations tailored to the American labor market. First things first, do your homework. It's imperative to conduct thorough research on the company and the hiring manager. We live in the age of information. This is the perfect opportunity to hone your true crime detective skills and gather all available information from the company's website. This will assist in identifying potential small talk opportunities and cues for meaningful conversation and relationship development during the interview. This will transform the interview into a two-way dialogue rather than an awkward interrogation. It's equally essential to gather information about the hiring manager. A visit to their personal website may even reveal their role within the company, personal mantras, mission statements, hobbies and interests. We often sink or swim based on our assumptions. In this case, allow for your assumptions to set you up for success. While they have access to your resume, it's essential to walk in on equal footing, armed with knowledge about them. Remember, introduce the company information into the conversation gradually and seamlessly. This is going to demonstrate valuable traits of organization, self-discipline, and initiative, and you're just getting started. A job interview is an opportunity to display how you can bring value to an organization. Regardless of the industry, it's important that you're able to adequately articulate your capabilities. This is the portion of the interview where you want to strategically self-disclose, humble brag by all means, mention accolades, professional milestones, credentials, anything that will tell the story of your value and how it aligns with the standards of the occupation in which you are in pursuit. During the exchange, the hiring manager will be evaluating your application. He'll probably have his eyes down on your resume. He's going to take into account your expertise, the attitude that you came into the door with, and your adherence to professional standards as it aligns with the organization. What's going to stand out most to the hiring manager is your communication skills. A recent study from job market research firm Burning Glass Technologies analyzed 25 million job postings, and what they found was communication skills ranked the most desired baseline skill regardless of industry. And this is also true for denominated positions. Even though we live in an age with multiple communication touchpoints, employers want to know that they can rely on you for effective communication both online and off. Employers often lament that even though today's candidate possess strong technical skills, they lack an understanding of the nuances of human communication. While technology has enabled success outside of traditional frameworks, job seekers fail to appreciate complex social dynamics of the modern workplace. This is especially true when interacting with colleagues from different age groups. The hiring managers want to be sure that you can foster productive relationships, which are crucial for achieving mutual goals. Millennials and Gen Z are often slammed for their inability to foster effective face-to-face communication, from bringing generational slang into the workplace to lack of conversation skills. The younger generation gets a bad rap in the workplace, but we can't put it all on one generation. We have to take into account that at any given time in today's labor pool, you can find people from count them, 5 generations all working together. This is where your flexible communication skills are going to come into play. Allow your communication skills to shine in the interview, and it will make the difference between your real versus perceived value. Master the art of microtalk. Are you someone where small talk doesn't come easy to you? Well, me either. For the context of interviews, mastering small talk is a valuable skill to possess in the business world. Broadly defined, small talk is a friendly verbal exchange between two parties that aims to establish a cordial rapport. Think of it as an on-ramp to the freeway of a deeper professional conversation. Take time to relax and engage the hiring manager's interests. This is especially important if they're looking for a quote-unquote good cultural fit. Small talk is the most crucial communication skill that you can develop. It's how we initiate every single new relationship in our lives. It's worth considering that human interaction always begins at a specific point of conversation, and small talk serves as a foundation for building mutual understanding. If you limit small talk to mundane conversations about the weather, it can be a missed opportunity to build interpersonal currency. Instead, strive to engage in dialogue that relates to your shared experiences. Whatever the case, don't waste the opportunity to build connection. Getting inside the mind of a hiring manager. Hiring managers have a nuanced process for evaluating candidates and often rely on more than just verbal communication to make their hiring decisions. They're not going to just go based on what you're telling them. During an interview, what is verbally communicated constitutes only a small part of the overall impression. You want to give heavy weighted consideration to the non-lexical components of your communication. Nonverbal cues such as facial expressions, body language, they are even more influential in conveying your message that you're the person for the job. These modes of communication have been shared among primates for thousands of years, and they're a vital component of face-to-face interaction. All of these factors result in the lasting impression that a candidate leaves on an interviewer. The majority of hiring managers are adept at interpreting all three channels of communication, even if the interview takes place online. When you walk into a room or turn on the computer screen, know that a hiring manager is judging you. In real life, people make judgments based on how you comport yourself, your demeanor, and the same is true for hiring managers. As soon as you walk into the room, they may be thinking, this girl seems defeated. This must be her 10th interview. This guy is too much of a risk. Or, this person flat out scares me. They do think it. Hiring managers in particular tend to rely on these first impressions when evaluating candidates. Therefore, mastering nonverbal cues can give you an advantage of your chances of securing the job. Your posture, your head carriage, this all conveys confidence. This makes it essential to walk in the room like you own it, with intentional upright posture and a composed pattern of movement. Establish eye contact. It's a vital nonverbal trait during first face-to-face interactions. Imagine going on a first date and your date is avoiding eye contact. You wouldn't trust them. Conversation necessitates careful consideration of the person's responses, signal phrases. Making contact during conversation is crucial for building trust and leaving the interview with a sense of relationship. Even if you master all of the aforementioned strategies and perform exceptionally well in an interview, the unfortunate reality remains that many Americans still face discriminatory hiring practices. However, there are steps you can take to better navigate this challenge. Conduct thorough research to identify companies with equitable hiring practices. Prioritize organizations that are proactive in reaching diverse candidates with relative expertise and backgrounds. Seek out companies that have a reputation for inclusion, and reflective tenets are embedded in the organization's culture and practices. Identify companies with leadership buy-in for structured diversity and inclusion policies, programs, and trainings. You don't want to waste time, and you don't want to be psychologically damaged. Avoid companies that have ad hoc diversity events or have a reputation for virtue signaling. There is nothing worse than feeling like a token hire, being in a toxic work culture, or being denied advancement or blocked from positions that lead to senior management, VP level roles, or C-suite opportunities. To avoid these career pitfalls, explore companies with a track record of promoting diverse talent and providing opportunities for advancement. Pursue businesses and organizations that take a comprehensive approach to equity with strategic practices that support DEI at all parts of the employee life cycle, such as implementing inclusive leadership behavior training, sponsorship programs, and expanding recruitment strategies to more diverse schools, or perhaps they're overseen by a governance model. And finally, if you have the means and ability, starting your own business is a viable option to being the change that you want to see. Finally, I want to leave you with this. Remember the power of a smile. In an interview, smiling releases stress, it reflects your positive intent, and it also influences others' biology to regulate their own unwelcome feelings of stress and anxiety. I thought I'd leave it on a lighter note. Have you experienced a bad interview? Leave it in the comments below. Well, I'm Nadiyah Heron. I hope this helps you to interview like a boss. Take care.